Unlike my buddy Wayne, it's the first football season in a quite a while. Well, I had a couple of years there post COVID that I didn't coach. But this is really because I know I have put the coaching to bed for good. I don't have a football season to prepare for. So, in order to occupy my mind and energy, I'm throwing it into using the same type of analytical look at the stock market, specifically futures, specifically the ES, trying to become an expert in that by every day reviewing the game film. And just to review real quick, I won't drag it out. Remember, before the market opened, I marked off the previous day's high, previous day's open, the previous day's low, and the previous day's close, and also marked off any gap that would uh, price would close by moving in that direction. Okay, and we saw that basically on the day today and starting last night, all of these came into play except for the high. So I wonder, just thinking, okay, in football terms, they run, 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 haven't thrown one deep. Look out, could be coming. That's kind of how we thought as football coaches. I know you'll agree with that, Wayne. So, did it go to the open yesterday? Yep, hit it at 205. Okay. Did it go to yesterday's low? Yep, blew through that. And see back here in this little corner, it had some business to take care of because there was that gap on the hourly chart. And it came down, spent some time inside that gap, caught momentum, and went all the way up to the top. And that was at 350, like those sorry SOBs will do when everybody's retail guys and prop traders are being forced to get out the market. They'll go make that money and leave us sitting with all this pablum while they eating steak, lobster. I'll get off of that. But during the day, not that they were the end all beat all, but each one of these marks, except for the open, I mean, yesterday's high came into play. It closed the gap pretty quickly. It closed the gap pretty quickly after the open at 6 o'clock. Boom, there you go. First order of business, it went up and closed the gap over day before yesterday. The bar, the tail of the bar 2 days ago. Okay, because to me that's what I understand is the close of the gap. Okay, then it proceeded to make more highs and did a steadily march all day and then went right back to yesterday's opening price. Look at that, clean as a whistle, as a high, as a new high at 2 o'clock. Okay, I was at the grocery store. I get in on some of this. Okay, it pretty quickly blew through yesterday's close. That was a non-factor. It did come back to here, and it came back to it in here. but it also is making new lows on the day. So, not saying that's everything, but that's the checklist. Okay, and so now this is the close. Okay, so as I said, today's close is right at the opening price of yesterday. Okay, so now at 6 o'clock, time is it? In roughly 45 minutes. It's 5:13. Now I'll reset the chart, clear all this out over here. I'm not going to add extra lines. I'm going to disregard most of the lines or move them around. Okay, so here is today's open. Well, actually, to the trading day, but this opened 6 o'clock last night. So there's the open price, 64.04. Let me pull down. I tell you what, I'm gonna leave that high. I'm gonna make it look different because that's still out there. There's a high there that it has not um, hit yet. All right, so I'm gonna dash that up. I'm gonna add another line right here. That's why I made this a separate video because I'm Sabruta filming like I used to get on one play. That ain't what I want. I used to get on one play and just spend 15, 20 minutes on that one play. Because I always figured if we could get that one play correct, then we couldn't get it wrong. Right, remove that. Okay, so I need a green bar in here. So that'll denote between yesterday's high. Well, I'm already calling it yesterday, like a damn time travel. Different templates. Okay, that's solid green. Okay, bear with me. Only a couple more things to do. Okay, all right. So this will go to yesterday's open. I was on there. Okay, open, high, low. Got quite a ways to go. Might not see that. And then the only other thing we need is the close, which is this purple bar. I keep moving that, fumbling around. But bear with me, my right hand is incapacitated, so I'm using my left hand to work the mouse. I'm ambidextrous. Okay, so there was the close. Well, that was a little bar to finish the day. All right, that was the close. And let me move that back. And the only other thing to do, and let me do this on the daily chart because sometimes it gets a little janky trying to figure out unless you got big bars in front of you. And so now that yellow will be any gap that's created. Okay. I think I'll leave it on there, but I will say that this gap has been used once. So I'm not going to rely on it. If you were in here and you played any bounce off of here that left a low of the day right inside that gap and satisfied that gap, okay? And so the next bar that starts, the first thing that it will want to do is close any gap between it and the previous two, 2 days ago bar. I don't know how to say that. So I'll say that right there, which would be that high. So there's really, it, I don't want to say certainty, but in order to for this bar to not create a gap, if it opens here, is that right? I don't know about that. Let me know what you think. I'll leave it there for right now because we know that it's got some business up here. One with that high, and two, oh, it would if it opens in here, it would overlap. So as long as it does, long as it doesn't open down here or open up here, there won't be any gap to fill. So I don't know. I gotta study that and see what that means. But anyway, this is what I'm gonna use opening at 6 o'clock. And when I go to open at 6 o'clock, I'm gonna go to the 5 minute window because I started using that. I know it's 3 bars before the 15-minute window's close. So I'll use the 5. I'll be looking right here to see if it opens um, without a gap. I think they call it in phase or something. I don't know. And then more than likely, I'll be looking for some kind of oop-de-doo and then get headed towards that because it always goes the opposite sometimes. So it may open, may gap up and then continue. I don't know. But anyway, at 6 o'clock I'll be looking because I'm even if I'm not trading the open at 6, I want to see what the initial direction is. And then when I circle back around later on about 4 a.m. for the European Open, um, I have a clear direction. What business is taken care of and what business is left. So anyway, you guys let me know what you think. But this is what I think I know as far as chart analysis.